Hi, I am Moritz Wanzenböck and I'm a LINBIT developer, and today I want to show you a live demo of the LINBIT CloudStack Appliance. And to get started, we're here at the installer. I downloaded the ISO file from our website and started the installer. And here you need to set a few things up. First thing we're gonna do is set our time zone, location, and pick a hard disk to install. The machine I have has 2 hard disks and we want to install it on the 100 gigabyte disk. The other one will be used as the storage for the virtual machines, and this one is our system disk. So set up that. What you could also do is configure multiple network interfaces, but we're gonna keep it simple here, just using this one here. And lastly, we need to set some user accounts so that if there is ever any issue, you can still access the machine. So now I can set up a root password and we click begin installation. And this now takes some time to install, so I'll see you back when it's done. And we're back with the installation complete, and now we'll just reboot the system and then we'll continue with the installation. So now the system starts, and soon enough we will be greeted with instruction on how to continue. So now you can see I could log on here with the root account I've configured, but we don't need that. We will continue on with our browser on this address. So I've opened this here and with a nice interface, and we'll start the setup. And the first thing it does, it scans our network for additional CloudStack nodes or appliance nodes, and we need at least 3 for this CloudStack setup, and already found those. We'll just take over those, and then we have to rename them, and let's name them CloudStack, keep it simple. And now it starts installing necessary software, including the LINSTOR components, which is the software-defined storage solution from LINBIT, which is then also automatically configured with CloudStack and integrates with CloudStack. This should only take a moment and we can continue. And now an important step is setting up our CloudStack network and setting up a virtual machine network. Because we only configured one network interface, there is only one detection here. If you configured multiple network interfaces, you would see additional ones here. And it already took over the default settings from the network, but we want to set up some ranges for the system virtual machines of CloudStack, and then also for the instance is created by the user. And so these are used for user virtual machines. These are the ones used for stuff like the secondary storage and so on. And just like that, we've set up CloudStack. Now onto the storage configuration. We have this 50 gigabyte disk free on all nodes, and we want to take that over. And let's create an LVM thin pool here, name default because it's our default storage. And then we need to configure a resource group in LINSTOR speak, so kind of like a storage resource or kind of a configuration for our storage. And let's create that. Now for CloudStack, or we want to have storage highly available, so we need to configure a service IP address for our LINSTOR controller, so that even if there's disruption on one of the nodes, another one can take over, and then can take over the LINSTOR controller, and we'll just configure this IP address here, and we only have this one resource group which we configured previously, and we'll just use that. And now in the background it makes the resource, or makes the LINSTOR controller, which was already running on one node, highly available, so it's distributed between all of the nodes. And now a final step, we need to configure CloudStack itself, the control plane of CloudStack, to be also highly available, and we also define a initial secondary storage for CloudStack, where CloudStack stores its ISO images and snapshots and so on, and this will be done as an NFS export, which is also backed by LINSTOR. And we'll use all the default settings here. And now on to another step, which might take some time, so I'll see you when this is complete. And the setup has finished, and we can now go to the CloudStack interface and log in there using the credentials initially set up. So we'll just use these credentials and be greeted with the initial CloudStack setup. As you can see, we have 3 hosts set up. These are all up and running. We have a secondary storage which is using an NFS export, and we have a primary storage of type LINSTOR so set up. Also, we already have the necessary system virtual machines running, and so we can just start by creating new virtual machine instances. And so we'll just leave all of this by default. There's an example template already delivered, which is quite old, but you can update it. And we're not gonna add an SSH key for this one. We'll just hit launch instance. And this now takes some time, because the first thing needs to be done is copying the template into the primary storage, and then copy it from there. And actually we can take a look at the LINSTOR side of things. If we take a look at the LINSTOR interface, we can see that the secondary storage is here on the NFS exports. There are other types of exports that are not used here. We have a resource group set up, and you can add additional ones here. But now we are interested in kind of the guts of the system, so we'll switch to advanced mode and take a look at the different resource configurations. So there are a few things that are fixed, such as the LINSTOR database, the CloudStack database, and the CloudStack secondary storage, which are created automatically. And now these CS dash volumes, these are all created by the CloudStack LINSTOR plugin. These are the ones actually backing the virtual machines, all the system virtual machines and the virtual machines running on. And if we take a look, there's quite a few copies of the resources already in use. So for example, this one right here is in use on CloudStack 3 and another one resource is used on CloudStack 1. And with any luck, the virtual machine is already running. And if we take a look at the volumes here, you can see this volume is using ID 5916. And we will find this one here. So this is the volume. So here, running on CloudStack 1. If you go back to virtual machines, you can just quickly check that it's actually working as intended, connecting to the console and using the default password for this template. As you can see, we have our default resource running as we would expect. So this is all you need to do to set up the LINBIT CloudStack Appliance, and then you have a running and working CloudStack setup with highly available storage and also highly available control plane for CloudStack.